All right, here we go. This is game 2 of ProProProPro versus happydeath. And if you haven't seen game 1, it is on Dissonance channel. There should be a link in either the video description or one of those like live annotation links. But yeah, check that out in game 3, and etc. is up next also on his channel. But I got game 2, so this is going to be on Twin Peaks. This is a ranked 1v1, and it will be between the blue player on the left side, happydeath, in the Gothic Helix with Nikolai, and also using Nikolai also in Helix, the standard Helix actually this time. It is ProProProPro, now with neutrals not able to take damage during pregame. The game opening hasn't changed a dramatic amount, to be quite honest. I know people didn't want that to go away because it's something that's been there forever, and ProPro and happydeath approaching very, very, you know, standard high tier. Oh, but happydeath with the missiles probably, yeah, I missed that real quick, but was able to finish off ProPro. ProPro was kind of low on health and didn't get out of there when he saw happydeath, and what actually extended just a little bit. And these two guys, you know, teammates during the Maelstrom tournament, very, very familiar with each other. Probably the two top players in the game as of right now, in terms of active players, just because the game has not had that many active players recently. So, but anyway, both players are approaching at about the same rate, both going bottom. Approaching their outpost. Let's see, happydeath a tiny bit ahead, but it's so minor. Let's see, loadout differences. Oh, and ProPro forcing happydeath out of there with his missiles, but rounds out of energy. Okay, let me take a quick pause and let's take a look at the loadouts. Happydeath with the armadillos as his main tank, and ProPro going with Gemini. And let's see, Bertha's on only ProPro side, so on happydeath side in Twin Peaks, and yeah, did not bring Bertha's. Devastators on both sides, bot spawners on happydeath side, which is pretty good on Twin Peaks depending. I mean, but Twin Peaks has limited sockets. It's only 5 for your close side and then a 6th for the bottom. But the creep timing spawns don't sync up, so it's not so great. But ProPro a little bit behind. It's 10-14 right now in favor of happydeath. Happydeath has been able to finish off the last T99, a little bit ahead of ProProProPro, and again a little bit ahead in upkeep. But right now it will, you know, you will see the normal lines going up for the most part. ProPro trying to get a little bit ahead of happydeath, setting 3 Gemini down already, and the honeypot going down, so he will be able to. Oh, he didn't body block there. I would have expected him to body block, and happydeath trying to snipe the honeypot, but ProPro quick enough to grab it, and he will pull back just a little bit. Oh no, the honeypot not saving, not going to be healing that front Gemini. ProPro losing yet another unit, and in a match this high tier with you know, skill levels this close, and on a map like Twin Peaks especially, that, you know, small differences like that will add up, and it will kind of cascade, butterfly effect type of thing. Well, butterfly effect doesn't make sense because that's about going back in time, right? No, it's still the, yeah, but it's still, the concept still applies. But either way, 2 honeypots out for ProProProPro, forcing happydeath out of there, and happydeath not able to, you know, pick off one of the units out there in the corner. Happydeath now has, oh, plenty of armadillo up here at the top, and ProPro producing all of his units down here, I'm guessing. So now happydeath working on top, while it does give ProPro a little bit of time to approach. However, the honeypot is, okay, so the Gemini are not in range of the T99. T99 is socketed with the honeypot behind, so it will be a little bit tough for ProPro to get finished off if he tries to go for that side first. Forcing happydeath, no, okay, will the 2 T99 be enough, or the 2 honeypots be enough to actually save this Gemini? Yes, happydeath was not able to finish it off with his rockets, and ProPro did not have to touch it because he was not, well, he was able to a little, like, barely out DPS the Helix rockets, but the Helix missiles, but it, you know, he wasn't able to pour damage in continuously enough for it to really matter. However, happydeath, that's a lot of armadillo right there for happydeath. And ProPro, I'm not really sure if he notices a lack of units over here, and he does see it, so I don't know, is he going to push? Okay, now happydeath is deciding to use his armadillo. Has ProPro scouted this yet? I don't think he is actually aware. Okay, now he does see it. He does see all those dillos coming at him, so he is going to start to pull back and put his Gemini and all of his units to begin with in defensive position. Oh, but happydeath does use this opportunity to drop 3 armadillo at the corner, which are doing a lot of damage, and happydeath, I don't know, I guess he's putting them on T or something like that, and dropping the T99 a little bit early behind those Gemini, but it will force them to fire at them instead of the approaching Gemini, dropping a honeypot as well, and the 3 Dillos are still pounding away at the corner. ProPro frantically trying to create a defensive line over here, not dropping really anything behind the armadillos to distract, and happydeath with 2 more armadillo just doing tons of damage on the fort, not responded to at all by ProProProPro, and now with a little bit of blocking, but with 6 Dillos and even more ferrying over by happydeath. This might actually be the end of the game. That is a lot of damage going down. down on the fort right now, and ProPro has not enough units here to defend. happydeath catching ProPro way out of position with those Dillo drops, and this is probably going to be it. There is not enough here to defend for ProPro. Even if he can actually finish this off, I think happydeath can, if ProPro can actually successfully defend here, happydeath can probably finish off with a little bit more drops. Okay, he definitely needs the body block over here, and now happydeath with 3 more Dillo. Will he be able to finish this fort right now? He is going to be dropping at the corner, and that's pretty much going to be it. There is almost no fort health left on ProPro's side, and oh man, they're not actually, were they set on Y? Oh man, so close, so close. ProPro really needs to wall the hell off right now because he has absolutely no fort health, and happydeath, okay, this is going to be able to finish it off. There is no way that tiny sliver of health will not be finished off by these, and happydeath firing in as much as he possibly can, doing the tiny little bits of damage he needs to get the finish, and there we go. happydeath taking the game over ProPro on Twin Peaks. Those Dillos weren't, I think maybe the downfall of ProPro at that point was not scouting that big massive Dillos. He never did a flyby on that close outpost, and he never really it didn't seem like he suspected anything down the bottom because happydeath didn't really have that many units down there, and a lot of ProPro's units actually got killed, like maybe I think 2 tanks, if not 3, and they were Gemini, not Armadillo, so the unit count, I don't know if he killed any of happydeath's units that entire time. Let's see. Yeah, no unit kills, or at least for his mech, so he wasn't able to snipe any or anything like that. So yeah, he just never saw happydeath mass up all those Dillos, and by the time he actually scouted, it was way too late. happydeath dropped those 3 early Dillos at the beginning of his push that were never responded to because ProPro basically determined that it was more important to spend his attention to create the defensive line right after, to defend against that incoming push, which probably would have been the correct choice if happydeath didn't follow up with successive drops, and then ProPro had nothing to defend at the fort because of the way that, the deployment works. Now, all of his units were down there at the bottom, and he was caught out of position. Basically, one of the biggest benefits of this new system, although a lot of people don't like it. I understand why. I don't really like the feel of it either, guys, but it definitely accomplishes that so... Oh, man. Really interesting game. I'm probably talking longer than the length of the game here. So catch games 1, 3, and 4, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that, but on Dissonance channel, I will include links either in the video description, in annotations here, or both, depending on how lazy I am. So, guys, keep sending your replays, keep playing the game, and give us a lot of feedback. All right, this is Areyouwhy, and that is game. See you next time.